Hello my fellow Archons and welcome to another video. So at KeyForge Celebration 2023, everybody got their hands on 3 sealed Grim Reminders decks, which was super cool. There's an entire Sealed Alliance Grim Reminders event that took place called the Nightfall sealed event. And today I just wanted to share with you one of my decks that I got, one of the Grim Reminders decks that I got at that event. I do plan on showing you guys all 3, but I figured I'd split it up into 3 different videos so we don't have just one massive video covering all 3 decks. So I'll split it up, but this one is called Boaz Walk Operator. Houses Mars, Starlance, and Unfathomable. And without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so starting it right off with the Unfathomable, we have Trawler, 4 power. Play, if you are haunted, capture all of your opponent's Ember. This card is absolutely insane. I mean, it's kind of like between Drumble and Antony. With Drumble having 2 power elusive, and you capture all of it if your opponent has 7 or more. Antony having 6 power just captures all of it straight away, and then it gives 1 back to the opponent at the end of the turn. But this one's cool. It requires you to be haunted, but it's super clutch. I mean, like complete Ember control. Tendrils from Beyond. Choose a creature. If that creature's controller is haunted, return that creature and each of its neighbors to their owner's hand. Otherwise, return that creature to its owner's hand. Squallmaster, after fight, after reap, each player discards a random card from their hand. Scrap, exhaust an enemy creature. Then I have 2 of those. Immersioneer, 5 power, after reap, discard the top 3 cards of any player's deck. Scrap, shuffle the bottom 3 cards of your discard into your deck. So that reap effect is really helpful for getting you haunted or your opponent haunted if that's necessary. And then scrap just helps you get some of those cards back. Like say you get like maybe some important cards really early on, like maybe in your first hand, and you end up just having to play them just to cycle, then Immersioneer, scrapping him, can help get those cards back, and maybe you can get them into your hand at a more opportune time. Echoing Death Knell, play, deal 1 damage to each creature. If 1 or more creatures are destroyed this way, repeat this effect. Hukaru Icefin, after reap, choose a house, exhaust each creature of that house, some of that classic Unfathomable exhaustion. Then scrap, exhaust a creature or an artifact. Gatewatcher, 4 power, has Taunt, destroyed if your opponent is haunted. Destroy each enemy flank creature, which I really like that. Again, that's where the Immersioneer can help get this effect to trigger. So if you reap with them, discard the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck to get them haunted. So then that way, Gatewatcher will actually destroy each of the opponent's flank creatures, which is pretty cool. 2 of those guys, and then double Dragnet as well. Addlefish, 5 power. After fight, your opponent discards 2 random cards from their hand. That can be a pretty brutal effect. Then into the Starlines, we have this Triangulator Newsome with a capture and double discard. Has Deploy. After reap, if you are haunted, move each Ember from Triangulator Newsome's neighbors to your pool, which is just super insane. It's like, why did Saurian not have more of this in the previous set, in the previous couple sets, actually? It's just such a powerful effect. Strength from Diversity. This is a card I actually got to spoil back when Ghost Galaxy was doing the spoilers during the GameFound campaign. Enhances a capture and a discard. Play, each friendly non-Starlines creature captures 1 Ember. Scout Pete with an Ember. Play, fight, reap. We already know what he does. Rogue Operation. This one has a discard and an Ember Pip. Retro Technician Lee. If you are haunted, Retro Technician Lee enters play ready. After reap, you may play a creature from your discard pile, which is so cool. It's like a Exhume on a stick almost. I mean, you can play any creature you want from your discard pile, like it's in the active house and in your hand, just like Exhume, and just like BR Geist in a Geistoid. And then if you're haunted, you get to do it right away, which is crazy. Quartermaster Body, play, fight, reap. If you're haunted, capture 2. I love how Starlight still has this theme of like having creatures or like individuals from other houses join into their ranks. I mean, we saw it in cards like Special Agent Fingers or Operations Officer Yishi, and now we see it again with Quartermaster Body, a Geistoid dude. Again, goes great with Triangulator Newsome. Also things like Strength and Diversity with some in-house capture. Then we got Pyro. Essence Entangler. This creature gets -X power, where X is the number of Ember on this creature. Scrap and move 1 Ember from a creature to another creature. Very neat. Really good tech against like Worlds Collide Saurian and stuff like that, who can like tribute onto creatures. You can decrease their power with Essence Entangler. Seance Scanner with a discard, enhances Ember and double discard. Action, if you're haunted, use a friendly non-Starlines creature. 2 copies of that. Badge of Unity, hold the line. And then into the Mars. First off, we have a target Unixidal. Play, archive a card from your discard pile. After reap, archive target Unixidal. Some recurable archiving tech, which is super cool. Scoop Up, Mars First, Grabber Jammer, Distant Void Prober. After reap, if you're haunted, your opponent's keys cost +3 during their next turn. Scrap, an enemy creature captures 1 from its own side. Brain Dart. This deck actually has triple Brain Dart, which is super cool. Has those Ember Pips on them. And then it's almost like you're stealing one because the enemy creature captures one from its own side that you can obtain later. Psychic Network, Memrox the Red, Airlock, and then this new, like, super interesting artifact called Plan 10. At the end of each player's turn, return a card from under Plan 10 to its owner's hand. If there are no cards under Plan 10, destroy Plan 10. Play, put each non-Mars creature face up under Plan 10. So it's pretty much a board wipe. It kind of reminds me of something like General Sherman, but it's like this artifact with a play effect that acts as a board wipe for non-Mars creatures, and then at the end of each player's turn, they get a card back from under Plan 10. So it's a very, very interesting artifact. I like it a lot. Yeah, this deck is super, super fun to play with. I think it's definitely one of the better of my 3 Grim Reminders decks. There's another one of my Grim Reminders decks that I think is also pretty solid, but this one I've had the most fun playing with so far. Usually Distant Void Prober I find myself scrapping. I mean, because that's essentially a 4th Brain Dart. Unless I get the Distant Void Prober with my Mars first, so I can instantly trigger that Reap effect. And it's also crazy that Iron X Rebel and Mars first are both in this set. It's like 2 ready and use effects in the Mars house, which is crazy. Target Unixidil is awesome for archiving things like the Brain Dart. Obviously, there's also the Memrox Mars first combo. Psychic Network with only 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's only 4 Mars creatures to go with the Psychic Network, so I don't feel like I haven't really gotten a ton of value out of that. And then over here in the Star Alliance, again with this stuff like the Quartermaster Body with Triangulator Newsome. Like, Triangulator Newsome is just so good. If you can get him to survive a turn and then also get some extra capture with the Quartermaster Body. And then even you could use Seance, or not Seance Scanner, the Essence Entangler to scrap it and move an Ember from a creature to a neighboring creature of Triangulator Newsome to get that Ember as well, which I think is really neat. Retro Technician Lee is just absolutely insane. Getting to play things like the Target Nixidor or the Memrox the Red if they're dead already. And then this Unfathomable. Addlefish is just crazy. Dragnet. Like Dragnet is just such a powerful card from Winds of Exchange to begin with, so having 2 of them is really awesome. Gatewatcher is cool. Hukaru Icefin. I love that Reap effect. It kind of reminds me of something like Persistence Hunting. Just getting to do that over and over. And then you got this Frigorific Rod sort of effect with the scrap, which is cool. Echoing Death Knell is awesome. Immersioneer, like I was just saying, goes great with the Gatewatcher, or just getting yourself haunted if you need to be haunted, or getting key pieces that came early back into your deck. Squallmaster is cool. It's kind of weird that you also have to discard a random card from your hand when you fight a Reap with him, but again, that just helps you get haunted, and it could potentially trigger other scrap effects if this effect happens to discard one of those cards. Thunderous from Beyond, more removal that bypasses destroyed effects, and then Trawler is just an amazing card. I really like using things like Target Unixidil to get Trawler back, or even if Trawler comes early, using Immersioneers. Where'd he go? Where's Immersioneer? Where the heck did he go? Immersioneer disappeared. There he is. Using Immersioneer's scrap ability to get him back if he comes early. I mean, because this is just such a powerful card. I mean, you can literally stop keys with this card. Like, if you ever need to stop a key, Trawler can do it for you. If it's a 3rd key situation and you need that Clutch Ember control, Trawler can buy you an extra turn. It's just such a powerful card. Trawler paired with Triangulator Newsome. I mean, if you can get that to trigger, that's literally pretty much stealing all of your opponent's Ember. I don't know if there's a way to trigger both of these in the same turn, like get the Trawler down and then also get the Triangulator Newsome to Reap and move it all to your pool in the same turn. I don't know if this deck has a way to do that, but I'm sure there will be decks out there that do have a way to do that, maybe like a Maverick Trawler into Star Alliance, or just some sort of I don't even know. I'm sure there's going to be a pod out there that can do it, or 2 pods. But yeah, that's a super, super insane combo right there. Then of course there's also this cool extra house cheating with the double Seance Scanner. Usually when I find myself scrapping creatures though, such as if I scrap the Immersioneer or scrap the Distant Void Prober, sometimes I end up with a really small battle line and I don't really get much use out of my Seance Scanners. They really just kind of exist in case I end up getting a chance to use them. But honestly, it's like sometimes they just don't get used because I don't have much of a battle line because I'm scrapping things all the time. Rogue Operation is such an awesome reprint. I mean, and then the Ember Pip on top of that, I mean, it's just like a potential steal 2 and gain 1 for doing so, which is pretty crazy. Triangulator Newsome with discard pips. I mean, there's just so much, like, Grim Reminder's decks just have so much depth to them, especially once you start throwing in the discard pips, because then you start getting out-of-house scrap effects from cards that you discard from hand. So say I have, like, the Triangulator Newsome in hand, and then also something like the Distant Void Prober, and the, let's see, who's another guy with the scrap ability? Like the Hikaru Icefin. Like, if I have all three of these in hand, I can play the Triangulator Newsome, discard the Distant Void Prober to have an enemy creature capture one from its own side, and then discard the Hikaru Icefin to exhaust a creature or artifact. It's just, the sort of combo potential in this set is going to be absolutely bonkers. But yeah, you guys will have to take a look through this deck. Let me pull up the Archon card here for you. So this is Boaz Walk Operator. If you guys see any combos that I may have missed, I know I definitely have not talked about all of them. This is a pretty quick analysis of this deck, but let me know what you guys see in this deck, what you guys think, especially of this upcoming Grim Reminder set. I think it's going to be absolutely insane, absolutely just one of the strongest sets that's ever been released, without a doubt. But yeah, so that's Boaz Walk Operator. Pretty quickly here, I'll get my next two videos about my other two Grim Reminders decks uploaded. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you all again in the next one. See you later.